All right, friends, how are you today? Aaron here on location. I'm down in Cincinnati, Ohio, so a little far away from the studio to bring you the astrology report, your daily horoscope for the 1st of September. Happy 1st of September, everybody. I'm going to roll it now. For me, in my time, the full moon is going to be at 1 in the morning on on Wednesday, the 2nd. But for a lot of the rest of the world, that's going to be on the 1st. Hopefully you can hear me. I tried to get as far away from the road as I could. So we've got the moon in the sign of Pisces today, all right? Oneness, coming back to a place of stillness, centeredness, completion, right? We've got, the full moon's going to be at 10 degrees. So the moon is actually going to be creating a perfect sextile to Uranus in Taurus, okay? Breaking way, creating great change. And the sun, coincidentally, right, there's no coincidences, will be at 10 degrees of Virgo, okay? Now the moon is our emotional needs, right? And in the sign of Pisces, what do we need? We need that sense of oneness. We need our dreams. We need to focus on our dreams. We need to remember our creativity. We need to remember our imaginations, okay? That they're limitless. Our dreams are limitless. Our imagination is limitless. There's nothing telling us, there's nothing that can control it, right? Not even us sometimes we can't control our dreams. I have some really weird dreams sometimes. But you know, our dreams that we want to create into ambitions here on planet Earth. And Pisces is, Pisces is the everything. Pisces is the oneness. Saturn is the physical, the I'm me, and Virgo is this tree is this tree, and that tree is that tree, and those trees over there are those trees over there. You know, it's a defined, I still got my earpiece in, defined oneness, or a defined thing, you know. Virgo, very defined, very focused. And the moon in Pisces it's the infinite possibilities. There's no limit. There's no telling what can come next. With the moon the moon sextile down there to Uranus at 10 degrees, it's very, very powerful for this full moon, okay? I mean, it's a full illumination. We're seeing exactly what it is. And we've got the Sun and Mercury in Virgo, okay? Very, very focused on what we need to be doing. We had that little bit of, that Aquarian energy saying, okay, how can I better prepare myself for the future? How can I better prepare myself for my dreams, to obtain my dreams, to bring my dreams into alignment with that of the physical reality, that in the physical world, right? And Uranus shaking things up in the sign of value, Taurus. What do we value? What things are we holding on to? I love this expression. A single bar is a prison if you're holding on to it long enough, right? And there are concepts, there are ideas, I'm getting bit by a bug. There are traditions, structures, things put in place and orders that have been in order for a very, very long time. And we cling to these old concepts and we value them. It's a virtue to value this tradition. However, the North Node in Gemini is saying that's not where we're at anymore. We have to seek a new way. We have to seek a truth that makes sense. You know, Pisces is about believing. Okay, we have to have faith. We have to believe in ourselves during these times right now and be so focused on our services, on how we're giving back to humanity, what we are doing and offering up, right? Offering up our goods to others to help. You know, we are here, we're the guardians of this planet. We're the gardeners of this planet. We have a job to do. And there's no escaping it. And the moon in Pisces is completion. Okay? Now also, if we look at the water signs, Cancer is all about emotions. Right? Cancer is the moon's home, all about emotions, where Venus is at right now. What we value is being emotional. What we value is our emotions, more so than material possessions and things. Right? Uranus is in Taurus, about material possessions and things, and shaking things up and saying, look, humans, we don't need these comforts. All these little comforts that we need. You know, honestly, it's been 16 years since I've taken a Tylenol or an Advil or anything to alleviate or remedy a headache. Okay? But we get used to these things. When I was a small child, of course, here, something hurts. The doctor gives you ibuprofen or whatever it is, or your mom's going to give you the Tylenol or the whatever. You know, and we just grow to these comforts that we're used to these things. Okay? And nature here is teaching us that Pachamama has a lot to offer us. She has a lot to give us that can heal us, that can teach us. Yeah? And to let go of some of those comforts, some of those things that we value, that we think that we need, that are really taking the place of something else. You know? Drink more water, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, less sugars. You know? So in the sign of Cancer is all about our emotions. And now when we look at the sign of Scorpio, you know, let's look at the depth of the ocean. Okay? Very deep, mysterious. And there's pressure. Pressure that will crush anything if it goes too deep. Okay? So Scorpio adds a lot of pressure. Well, we're not in Scorpio and we're not in Cancer. This is water is emotions, and water in Pisces is the oneness. The ether. The everything that's out there, that we are all connected. Okay? So when we heal parts of ourselves, we're healing everyone else around us. And that's part of our service, part of our duty. As this is the last couple weeks here with the sun in the sign of Virgo, this is the end of the first 6 houses, okay, about self. And we're going to have Mars in Aries all about self for the next several months. As the sun and Mercury and Venus, you know, those travel with the sun. Mercury only travels, 30 degrees away from the sun. Venus travels within 60 degrees, but they're always like a pendulum sticking around the sun where Mars goes. Mars does what he wants. And Mars is saying, I need to focus on myself. I need to heal myself. Mercury and the sun are saying, this is still about me, but it's also about you, right? How can I do what I do to help you out? I have to get myself in a good place before I can be of service to others. Right? So this full moon, full illumination, focus and clarity in the sign of Virgo, the Sun and Mercury, the ruling planet associated with Virgo. And we're about 9 degrees off, almost 10 degrees off of Neptune. Okay? So the sun, or the moon is going to conjunct Neptune later on Tuesday, later on Wednesday. My day off in my brain. Anyway, so the we're not quite at the conjunction of Neptune yet. Okay? But we can have a feeling of being lost with the moon conjunct Neptune, or coming close to that conjunction, where the sun and Mercury energy is pulling us back and saying, focus, focus, focus. This great clarity. Okay? And this split, the opposition here, is telling us emotionally what we need is to not be too analytical, to not be too focused on the mind. Remember what we talked about when the sun was in, or when the moon was in Capricorn? You know, it's putting the emotions on the shelf to be able to do the job. You know, sometimes we can look at a task and be so overwhelmed by the task in front of us that we build up anxiety, our heart starts pumping, and then we think ourselves out of something that we're completely capable of doing. Okay? So the moon is saying, connect back with yourself, put the emotions on a shelf, in a sense, and do whatever we have to do to complete this chapter in our lives. Okay? And we get to do this again with great clarity and creativity and ambitions with all of this focused energy in Virgo. But the moon is pulling us away, saying don't be too analytical. Don't be too in your mind about whatever is going on. Feel your way through this. Feel your way through it. Okay? Feel your way through the oneness. Right? Honestly, it's amazing energy. And with the sun focused on release, that's Uranus's job, is to release. Moon, sextile, easy flow of energy. The trine, easy flow of energy from two like elements. The sextile is an easy flow of energy from two different elements that are complementary to one another. So that means we have this great release. This, Uranus is the great awakener. This great release that's going on in our emotional body of oneness. Letting go of, one of my friends here, forgive me for not remembering your name off the top of my mind right now, just commented, about liking these videos. Thank you so much, by the way. And because, you're not alone, or this isn't just for an Aries, or just for a Pisces, or just for a Virgo. We're all being affected by this very similarly, The root of the meaning is all the same for us. And then it's up to our individual charts, our individual personalities, on how it changes a little bit, and how it affects us on a deeper, more personal level. But at the same time, the moon in Pisces is the moon in Pisces. The sun in Virgo is the sun in Virgo. Mercury in Virgo is Virgo. Very analytical, very focused. And this energy is saying, pull ourselves out of our minds. Pull ourselves out of the equation. Pull ourselves out of the media. Neptune rules media. Pisces rules media. Pull ourselves out of this overthinking of what's going on in the world and bring it back to Aries, Mars, self. What do I need? I need to finish this chapter of my life so I can move on to a new one, to a better chapter, to a higher consciousness, right? A higher mode of thinking. And where we're headed toward Libra season, right? It's about balancing our relationships with other people. We're going to get there, on the 20th, 22nd of the month. So right now, focusing on self, releasing our analytical mind, coming to this oneness. Again, Virgo is, I'm not just an apple tree, I'm a Fuji apple tree, or I'm a clementine, or I'm a tangerine, or I'm an orange, or I'm a blood orange. We're all different. And Pisces says, yeah, but you're all the same. And when we get out of our minds, we can accept this. It's the light and dark, And the light is when we can see the differences of everything. In the darkness, we're all the same. All right, my friends, enjoy this full moon. This is beautiful energy, really breaking things up and completing a cycle right now that's saying, I know who I am, I'm comfortable with myself, I'm going to tap back into my creativity, I'm going to tap back into what I need to be able to give back to the community, to be able to give back and be of service to this world. And I can do that without being too in my head, without being too analytical, without being too beating myself up of what happens if things go wrong, or what happens if I don't succeed, or what happens if. We have to believe. This full moon is about being focused on believing. Should have started off with that. All right? Focused on the belief. Have a beautiful day, my friends. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. We'll see you tomorrow.